After exactly 2 years, here is my Tesla Model Y honest review after 28,000 miles. There are Teslas everywhere. There's one right in front of me. I've driven this car quite a bit, and I'm just going to be brutally honest. I am someone who used to always say, the point of a car is to get you from point A to point B. I still have my Honda Civic of 12 years, and that was my first car ever. So I bought my Tesla Model Y in 2022 for the price increased, then decreased, then increased. I got it with a very good interest rate. I have the pearl white exterior with the white interior. No complaints on the white exterior. I feel like it makes the car looks really clean, but the driver's seat, it is starting to discolor a little bit. It is recommended to get some baby wipes and to clean the seats as often as possible. Or the more eco-friendly option is to get some water, Dawn dish soap, and then a microfiber towel, and then wipe down the seats. But it doesn't really get rid of the discolorations. While Harvey, my Honda, has never gotten that kind of treatment. So are the white seats going to be a little more high maintenance than the black ones? Yes. Number 2, it wouldn't be a Tesla review if I didn't talk about the tires. Now, these tires are special tires. I believe there's foam inside of the Tesla tires, but I don't know what is happening, but I have had a nail in my tire 4 times. 4 times in the span of like 8 months, and I felt like, am I targeted? But I think the way that the Tesla moves, it picks up a lot of things. I lived at America's Tire at some point all the time. That the torque is really going to wear down the tires a lot faster. That is something I've had to change more often. So when I got this car, you know, it had 4 brand new tires. I have replaced 3 of them already in 2 years because of the holes that it got. Number 3, the next thing is tire alignment. I didn't know this, and so I drove it for a year, and then one of the tires, one side was completely bald while the other side still had some life to give, which means that the tire alignment was completely off. I didn't know until I went to the tire shop. Number 4, I am not a huge fan of the full self-driving. We knew when we paid for the full self-driving that we were kind of just investing into the future, because if you pay for it all at once, you are locked in. You don't have to pay for it again, and since then it has gone up $5,000. Do we use it enough to make it worth it right now? Probably not. The lane keep assist is fantastic, but being able to just fully trust the full self-driving, I would trust it as much as a high school student driver who is learning how to drive. That's how it feels. It's a little rough around the edges. It's very unsure if it's time to go, and I appreciate it being careful, but it's definitely something that you can't just like relax and keep your hand on the wheel. You have to really be aware. So I'm glad I didn't pay $15,000 for it, but of course we do hope that it will continue to improve, and I do plan to have this car for a long time. Number 5 is something I feel like a lot of people didn't talk about. It is the defogging, or to defrost the windshield. It's not good. It's not good at all. One time it was so cold outside and my entire windshield fogged up, and it was just taking so long to defrost, so I ended up just rolling down the window. Next, this car is actually very dark at night. Considering the price point, you would think that there would be some ambient lighting to make the car look a little nicer, fancier, all of that, but it is just kind of like a black hole. The only thing that's lighting the cabin is the screen. If you're paying this much for a car, it should come with it, right? But I mean, it doesn't bother us, but some people may not like that. Number 7, something that I wish Tesla would kind of fix this, is the windows are actually not tinted. They are dyed. It will not provide UV protection. If you want that, you actually need to tint the windows. And the sunroof, although it is one of my favorite parts of this car because it's beautiful to be able to see the sky, it gets really hot in the summertime. We were thinking about tinting it, but it was going to cost over $1,000. So the alternative was to get this little sunroof, and we just like clipped it on. It has been here for like 7 months or so, and it's fantastic. I definitely recommend this. It has kept our cabin a lot cooler. And by cabin, I mean something else that I don't really like about this car are the handles. I've gotten used to it now, but if you have a lot of stuff in your hands, it's really not convenient to have to use your thumb and your finger. I just want to be able to pull it. I feel like that was not very user-friendly. Just Tesla things. Number 9 is supercharging. So we do have a charger at home, but there are moments where we are out and about and we don't have enough mileage and we need to go to a supercharger. supercharger. You want to go every other so that it'll be faster. If two Teslas are right next to each other, it's going to charge slower. But the superchargers, especially in LA, have been so crowded, it is very hard to do every other. On a road trip though, we haven't had any issues finding a supercharger because they are really good about placing them in the middle of nowhere. So you don't really have to worry about that, but it's more so the time. We do have to set aside 15 to 30 minutes depending on how much you need to charge. This doesn't bother me, but it may bother some people, so I feel like I need to talk about it. You can't sync Apple Maps or Waze onto the Tesla display. You just have to use whatever navigation system they have, but the directions are just like my Google Maps, and I don't mind it. Those who rely heavily on Waze, they may have a hard time because you can't use it on the dashboard. Those are some things that I feel like Tesla could fix or change to make our user experience a little bit better and easier. But let's move on to things that I do like about the car. Number one, I love how fast this car is. It is a fast car, and the acceleration, I would equate it to a roller coaster. It can go 0 to 60 real quick. It's kind of like the Incredicoaster at California Adventure at Disneyland. And when I'm merging onto the freeway, I have no fear because I know I'm going to make it and I'm going to get on the lane I need to get on. While with my Honda, I need like 5 to 10 seconds of some space. Again, that does contribute to the wear and tear of the car. It depends how you drive your car, but it's really nice to be able to go fast. Number two, I love that there is literally no maintenance on this car. As of right now, after 2 years, the only thing I've had to do are the tires. And each tire can cost about $275 to $300 depending on where you go. I always go to America's Tire, and my tires are all insured by America's Tire, so that really helps with the cost. You do have to change the cabin air filter. I believe I am due for that. Other than that, it's really nice to not have to worry about maintenance because I am someone who is really on top of all the things that our cars need. Number three, no gas. I love not having to go to the gas station. We do have a gas car, but my husband will take it to the gas station because as a woman, I'm not going to lie, sometimes gas stations give me sketchy vibes, especially at nighttime. So to not have to go to any gas station is truly a luxury I never knew I could experience. Not a must-have, but a nice to have. Number four, I feel so safe in this car. This car is very sturdy. The battery is on the bottom, so it's very bottom heavy. Even when it's raining, I feel very safe in this car. And there is Sentry mode, so we have it on all the time because you just never know what could happen, and you'd rather have it on and have it drain your battery than to have something happen and it's off and you really wish you had it on. For example, I parked my car in a little bit of a congested area and our car alarm went off, and turns out some girl had hit our car. But I mean, it caught her license plate and everything on camera, so there's really no question if she tried to fight it, it's literally right there. Number five, what I love about this car is that the Model Y has so much space. Definitely a lot more space than the Model 3, and I was thinking long term of if this is a car I want to be driving for a long time, I want to put money into the one that's going to give us more space. At one point, I fit 3 other friends and like 7 luggages in here, and including the frunk. The frunk is also a lifesaver for food so that your car doesn't smell because it's separated, but it can fit a whole suitcase in the frunk too. Number 6, the app and the car connection is fantastic. You can lock the car, unlock the car, roll down the windows, change the temperature, and now you can even look inside the cabin with the interior camera, so you're able to really see what's going on. And if you put the car in dog mode, you can check in on your dog through the camera too. When I walk away, it locks immediately, and I'm not talking like 50 feet away and then it locks. It knows she's out. Number 7, the fun little sound effects that this car has and all the little fun features that just make a Tesla a Tesla. There was one time where I was in a parking lot and I was done eating and I was trying to move my car, but there were 2 people standing right in front of my car and they were really into their conversation. So I didn't want to honk because I felt bad, but I was this close to using my Jimin's "excuse me" little like quote. Another feature that I feel like just makes Tesla a Tesla is that when you are having your car in drive and then you unbuckle your seatbelt and your butt lifts the seat, it automatically parks. So even when I'm grabbing a valet ticket or anything like that, it will just park the car real quick just to ensure that it's safe and that your car won't start rolling. Number 9, you can also set customized settings to your seats. So mine is under Pangtan, but when you open the car, it actually has has easy entry mode, so it's going to move the seat in a manner where you can enter in easily, especially if you have a lot of stuff in your hands, you know, and you just want to put it in the passenger seat. Is going to create more space so that you have room. Number 10. Overall, I would say yes, a car is a car. It gets you from point A to point B, but this car, it was such a big deal for me because it was the first time treating myself to something that I really wanted, that I never thought I could have. And you know, if I never got this car, like, that's fine. But I think to be able to have like this big girl purchase was so crazy to me because I really never thought I would or that I could. I really love this car despite all the little quirks and all the little things that may not be so great. I love having an electric car, and I love the interior and the space and how safe it makes me feel. And it's a fun car to drive. So I hope that this honest review is helpful, especially if you're considering a Tesla. I do think if you could find a used one and pay in cash, that is ideal. But I know it's a lot of cash to put out up front. But back when I was looking for a Tesla Model Y, all the used cars were more expensive than just buying it because we had to wait so long for the inventory. That was that. But now it's like they're just mass producing these things. So that's something to be mindful of too, that you want to look for panel gaps and just any defects that you see in the car, get it taken care of within the first month. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye!